won't be buying cars, and even those that are working are likely to be delaying purchases. Slovakia has become the 16th member of the Eurozone, the second former communist country to join the grouping. Up to 100,000 people gathered in the capital Bratislava's main square for a midnight ceremony with fireworks. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico was one of the first to withdraw the new currency, taking 100 euros from a cash machine in the Parliament building. The Slovak korun or crown will remain in circulation alongside the euro until the 16th of January 2009. Cash machines were meant to be issuing euros from Thursday, while some banks planned to open despite New Year's Day holiday to swap koruns for euros. But the new currency was taking a while to filter through. None of my clients have paid euros yet. Everybody's using koruns, Marek, a 30-year-old taxi driver in Bratislava, told the AFP news agency. At Bratislava's railway station, Richard Nido, a 20-year-old waiter at an internet cafe, said, "Since we opened at 6 a.m, we have had 10 customers, but only 3 of them, for actually tourists, paid with euros. Slovaks are still using koruns." Well, we'll have to see what happens in the future. And continuing with the euro actually fell to a 2-week low against the dollar and declined versus the yen after a European manufacturing report indicated the recession is deepening in the 16-nation region. The euro, which became the currency of Slovakia, as we've just reported, headed for its first weekly decline in more than a month, on prospects that the European Central Bank will cut its target lending rate from 2.5% to spur spending. The pound approached the lowest in almost 7 years against the dollar, as UK mortgage approvals slid to its weakest level since at least 1999. Europe is having more dismal data, and that's why the euro is giving up its recent gains, said David Watt, a senior currency strategist in Toronto RBC Capital Markets, a unit of Canada's biggest bank by assets. The European economy will follow the same path of the US, and the ECB may join the other central banks to have a zero-interest policy rate. The euro declined 1% to $1.3906 at 9:30 a.m. in New York from $1.4045 yesterday. It touched $1.3841, the lowest level since December 19th. The currency may fall to 1.3 in 6 months, according to Watt. Europe's currency fell 0.5% to 126.75 yen from 127.41 after sliding 22% last year. The dollar rose 0.5% to 91.16 yen from 90.74 following a 19% drop in 2008. As for sterling, well, sterling depreciated 1.2% to $1.4502 and 0.2% to 95.89 pence per euro. Lenders granted 27,000 loans for home purchases in November, down 31,000 in the prior month, the Bank of England said today, and the pound fell to $1.435 on December the 31st, the weakest level since April 2002. And now on to our final story. Well, in our final story today, some of us may recognize this picture. Yes, this is Thor, the god of war. Now, you may not be surprised to see Thor in a comic book, a painting, or maybe even a film. However, you may be surprised to find Thor chasing a burglar. Well, an intruder received a taste of divine reckoning as he was chased from the Edinburgh flat he was breaking into by a man dressed as the Norse god Thor in the UK. The housebreaker leapt from his first floor window of the building to escape this man, Torvald Alexander, who was dressed up in a New Year's Eve fancy dress. Actually going to a fancy dress party, but luckily he hadn't left his building yet. Mr. Alexander, 39, said the man may have been intimidated by the costume he had made of the God of Thunder out of tin foil. The intruder did not manage to take anything from the flat in Inverleith. Mr. Alexander said the man landed on the pitched roof outside the window, which broke his fall before making his escape. He left behind his shoes and a pitchfork which he had used to break into the building. Mr. Alexander, a builder, said he was inspired to dress as Thor by the Marvel comic series. The Norse believed that Thor rode through the heavens during thunderstorms on his chariot, which was pulled by 2 goats. Lightning flashed whenever he threw his hammer, which magically returned to him. He was usually depicted as a big, powerful man with eyes of lightning and a red beard. Well, that's our news for today. We will be back at our usual broadcast time on Monday. Until then, thank you for watching, have a good day, and an enjoyable start to the year 2009.